Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another TSW&SD Cyclone video update tonight, the 8th of March 2014. My name is Nathan, and tonight we're going to be talking about Tropical Cyclone Gillian and the other tropical low out in the Coral. So first up, here is the latest forecast track map for Tropical Cyclone Gillian out there in the Gulf area of Queensland. And at 4 p.m. March the 8th, we can see that Tropical Cyclone Gillian was a tropical cyclone category 1. As it progresses through further towards the western side of the Cape York Peninsula district, we can see that it intensifies into a Category 2 cyclone there at 4 p.m. Tomorrow afternoon, and continues in this southeasterly type direction, and at around about, we could say sometime Tuesday morning into Tuesday afternoon, we can see that the cyclone has hit land just south there of Weipa, and quite quickly turns into a Category 1 cyclone, and then into a tropical low after that, as it starts heading in a south to southwestish direction. If we now take a look at the tropical low that is currently in the Coral Sea, and well, this one's a very exciting one for us because it could be the one that TSW could chase if this current forecast track map does come off by the Bureau of Meteorology. And here we can see at 4 p.m. this afternoon, this low pressure system was centered there just off the Cairns coast, or northeast of the Cairns coast, and it tracks in this southwesterly direction. And at 4 a.m. tomorrow morning, the Bureau of Meteorology are expecting this cyclone to form into a Category 1 cyclone, and then it adopts more of a southerly track. And at 4 p.m. March the 9th, so that's 4 p.m. Sunday afternoon, it is expected to be off the coast of Cardwell. And then at 4 a.m. Monday morning, we can see that it is probably off the coast of, say, about Ingham or that sort of area. And then at about 4 p.m. on March the 10th, so that's 4 p.m. Monday afternoon, we can see that it develops into a Category 2 cyclone just off the coast there of Bowen. And then it does something quite funny. Whether this is the interaction between the two lows or not, we can talk about that a little bit later on. But then this cyclone then heads back up to in a northwesterly direction back towards the Townsville area as a Category 2 cyclone. And here at 4 a.m. Tuesday morning, it's just off the coast of, say, Ayr, and then it heads in to impact the land as a Category 1 cyclone. So very quick downgrading to a tropical a Category 1 cyclone on Tuesday afternoon at 4 p.m. just south there of Townsville. Okay, having a look now at the rainfall for the next 4 days, or the predicted rainfall for the next 4 days. And we can see that up here in the Cape York Peninsula and in the Gulf, just off there to the west, we can see that there is quite a lot of rainfall associated with Tropical Cyclone Gillian. And this is actually today's rainfall, sorry. And we can see that there's quite a lot of rainfall happening here just off the coast there of Innisfail. Some of that rain is touching there near Innisfail, but not a lot. So let's have a look at Sunday. And on Sunday we can see that that tropical low system that we are watching out there in the Coral Sea has come quite close to the coast there between Townsville and Bowen, which is where a lot of that rainfall is. folks, we're talking about in excess of 200 mils of rain. They're just off the coast. There is a bit of it touching the coast there between Townsville and Bowen, but not a lot. We can see that tropical cyclone Gillian, she's still out there in the Gulf of Carpentaria, still producing a lot of rainfall, but at present that rainfall is not quite reaching the coast at the moment. There is a bit of rainfall there. We're talking about around 25 mils between Weipa and Thursday Island, but yeah, it's not a lot. We look now on to Monday, and we can see that rain from this tropical low out there in the Coral Sea, it's moved further south to now be just south of Bowen, so in between Bowen and Mackay. There is a fair bit of it hitting the coast. This dark blue area here showing 150 mils or 150 plus. So that is absolutely getting an absolute drenching down that way. Moving up towards the Townsville area, we can see that the rain has certainly eased off quite a lot there. Tropical cyclone Gillian up here in the Gulf is not producing a lot of rainfall for the Cape or for the peninsula, but there is a little bit there for Weipa. So it looks as if that this system here is not going to be a huge rain producer up there for that region. And if we move on to Tuesday, we can see that a lot of that rain that was produced from the tropical low there in the Coral Sea has now moved off the coast of Bowen, and there's a little bit of rain increasing, not too much though. We're talking about 25 mils there between Townsville and just south of Mackay. But a lot of the heavier rainfall has now moved off offshore. Tropical cyclone Gillian, a lot of its centralized rain activity is still in the Gulf. It hasn't hit land, and there is just a little bit of rain falling between Weipa and Mornington Island, but not a huge amount. If we look now onto Wednesday, and we can see that some rain is returning to the northern tropical coast there between, well, we can say between Cairns down to just north of Ingham. There's quite a heavy downpour happening in that region. Again, about 200 mils, just inland offshore. And we can see that tropical cyclone Gillian is producing quite a lot of rainfall here, just south of Normington, and it's producing quite a lot of rainfall there for that region. So now, if we have a look now at the period, the next 4 days between the 12th to the 15th of March. And what we can see here is that from this tropical low out there in the Coral Sea, producing quite a lot of rainfall here between, say, Townsville down through to around about the Mackay region. And tropical cyclone Gillian is producing a heavy amount of rainfall there just near the Northern Territory border. And for the 8 days, so this is now looking from the 8th, which is today, through until the 15th. And as you can see, quite a lot of rain here between, say, near Cairns down to around the Mackay region. Very coastal. Not a lot of it is seeping into western or central Queensland. It's all very coastal because of these systems. And up here, tropical cyclone Gillian, you can see just producing a lot of rain offshore there from the Cape, but then finally making a little bit of an impression on land down there near Mornington Island and Normington and those areas. We take a look now at the satellite imagery brought to us by the Bureau of Meteorology, and what we can see is that there is a bit of a swirling cloud mass happening here just off the coast here of Queensland. Um, it is still some quite good convective type cloud happening there. Um, and so it's a bit hard to exactly tell where the center is, but if we were to take an educated guess, would be saying that the low could be sitting, somewhere around in that area. Over in the Gulf, we can just see that there's a bit of cloud happening here from Tropical Cyclone Gillian. Um, but in this image we can't see it too much. But that cloud mass that's happening around in this area here, that is a result of Tropical Cyclone Gillian. If we have a look now here at the sea surface temperatures, where these systems lie, we can see that for Tropical Cyclone Gillian, uh, we can see that it's in these dark red to lighter red areas, which means that sea surface temperatures are quite good for these systems to continue um, to be systems. And for this tropical low that's out in the Coral Sea, we can see that it's probably in this light red sort of area. Um, it probably would prefer the darker red, but the lighter red is still quite good conditions as well. Even this orangey type color is quite good, but if it gets down towards Mackay, these colors start heading into a browny orangey sort of color, which are not too good for it. So the sea surface temperatures at the moment are very good for these systems to continue. Now, if we have a look at the relative humidity where these systems are at the moment, and we can see that at the moment, Tropical Cyclone Gillian, located up around here in the Gulf, has got quite good levels of relative humidity. The only problem that Gillian may have is if it continues to track down here in this direction, and then when it hits the coast goes south, we can see that it's heading towards these pinkish type colors, and cyclones absolutely hate those sort of colors because that means there's not so much moisture, or there's not much moisture for them to feed on, and so this pink stuff will actually kill the cyclone. For this tropical low that's out here in the Coral Sea, hanging around sort of in this area, we can see that the relative humidity is absolutely perfect for this system. There's no problems about that whatsoever. As it does head towards the coast, though, we can see that there is this pink covering here. But the thing that this cyclone or this system has in its favour is that it's fairly close to the monsoon trough, which is just feeding in a whole lot of moisture for this system to continue to feed on through its life cycle. So I really would say at this stage that relative humidity is not going to be too much of a problem for these systems. And so they should be able to develop as they continue towards the coast. So let's now have a look at where these models are predicting that that the system is going to go, the one that's in the Coral Sea. And as we can see here, that this green thick line, which is the one that we're really looking at, it says that it does get very close to landfall, if not does hit landfall, and then tracks towards Townsville and then heads back out east again. So it does a bit of a U-turn as it hits the coast. This red one, which is the deterministic model, it actually makes landfall a bit further, just about landfall anyway. It's so close to tell. They're near Bowen, and it also then tracks this cyclone up the coast a little bit and makes landfall maybe a bit more north of Townsville, and then starts heading it in an easterly or northeasterly direction. Having said that, though, as you can see, we have quite a number of outlying models that say that this system could continue sort of going directly south. We've got some that are hitting further north, around the Ingham sort of area. We've got some that are going down near Mackay. We've got some that are not even hitting the coast at all. So the models, yeah, they're having a bit of trouble with this system at the moment. But as you can see, a majority of the models are saying what this green one here is saying, which is it gets fairly close here down near Bowen, and then tracks up towards Townsville, maybe even making landfall there at Townsville, and then heading back out towards the northeast to easterly direction. If we have now a look at the bomb's axis model, and we can see that here at 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon, we can see that here's our little low that we're watching at the moment here off the coast of around Cairns, Innisfail, that sort of area. And here's Tropical Cyclone Gillian up there in the Gulf or Furious Sea. If we now have a look at what happens towards well, let's say Sunday morning at about 8 o'clock, we can see that, hang on, we went a bit further, we can see that this system out here in the Coral Sea continues to head in that south to southwesterly direction towards the coast, and Tropical Cyclone Gillian heads towards the top of the Cape York Peninsula. Now, if we have a look at what happens into Sunday night, we can see that this system here in the Coral Sea continues to deepen, with most of its rainfall activity happening to the south of the system. Tropical Cyclone Gillian remains up here right up towards the top, with a lot of its rainfall happening to its west to southwest side. Now, looking at what happens into Monday at 11 a.m., and we can see that this system here is still not quite wanting to hit the coast just yet at 996, so it's still quite a low pressure system. Could be considered a TC at that time, not quite sure. And Tropical Cyclone Gillian is still hanging around here up towards the top. It's not going far or a long way in a short amount of time. If we track now through into Tuesday, and what we can see is that this Coral Sea system has either made landfall and is now heading in that northeasterly direction, or has skirted the coast and is now heading more towards the northeast, away from the coastline. Tropical Cyclone Gillian remains here in the Gulf and starting to track in a more southerly direction. Now, if we continue having a look and seeing what happens on Wednesday morning, and we can see that, well, basically there's really no sign of that system that hit the Queensland coast or east coast, but Tropical Cyclone Gillian, she could still be there. She's still heading in that southerly direction down towards that Gulf District and the Eastern Northern Territory. And then if we look lastly through to Thursday, in Thursday morning at 11 a.m., and we can see that, well, Gillian has made it to the Gulf District and is starting to lessen in its intensity, and the one out in the Coral Sea has pretty much gone. There is this system over here in just east of the Fiji Islands at this stage that is not expected to head towards the Queensland coast anytime soon. Now we have a look at the European model and what it says where these systems are going to go. The European is probably about the second most reliable model in the world for forecasting cyclones. We can see that here on Sunday morning now, we can see that this system is heading in that southerly direction. Come Monday morning, it gets just about to Bowen and just sits there for a little while, and then decides, nope, I'm going to go back up towards Townsville, and then Townsville on Tuesday morning gets the brunt of that system, either as a Category 2 or a Category 1. If we look at Tropical Cyclone Gillian at the same time, and we can see at Saturday night, heading into Sunday morning, it's taking that southerly type direction, gets a little bit closer to the coast, and then continues to then track as it hits the coast. They're just near the national park or near Weipa, and after it hits the coast, it develops this southerly sort of track. If we now have a look at the GFS and where they say that these two systems are going to go, and we can see here Saturday night, the system is heading down here towards Townsville, then goes past Townsville a little bit here on Sunday night and gets near Bowen, and it makes landfall there in Bowen, and then decides it's going to head back up towards the Townsville area and then starts washing out into a trough-like system. Tropical Cyclone Gillian, though, it decides it's going to head towards the peninsula, but it is more of a southerly sort of track. Gets fairly close to the land, and then on Monday morning, Monday afternoon, it pretty much makes landfall right there on the eastern coast of the western coast, of the peninsula. So, folks, that's where we're going to leave it for this video. Thanks for watching, and our next cyclone video update will be tomorrow evening. Thanks for watching, and if you'd like to support our work that we do for you, please take the time to show your appreciation by donating to us through a PayPal link, or clicking on our PayPal tab under our cover photo on our Facebook page. Thank you, and good night.